Hello, everyone. Welcome to our November Champions Call. My name is Tiffany Lee. I'm a product manager here at the Microsoft 365 Product Group. And let's get into our content today. So again, today is our Champions Call of November, and we're going to be going over our digital event code of conduct first. So this slide is pretty, standard for any sort of Microsoft event, online, in-person, hybrid. But essentially, we want everyone to create a welcoming and safe environment here. If you have any questions on what this is about, feel free to highlight or go into this link here at ak.ms/code of conduct. So our agenda for today, I'm going to go over some announcements, and then we have our main topic, Ignite Recap, that we do every November for our Ignite flagship event. And then we have our open discussion forum where you can join us either live or ask us your question at the Microsoft Tech community. So first, our updated call format. If you're not already aware, this is our updated call format in a live streaming sort of way, where this show will now live stream to the Microsoft Tech community as well as the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. The join methods are exactly the same. You would visit us at these two AKAs on screen here, and then for open discussion at the end of the call, we'll also have a basically a join live link that we'll have at the bottom of our video right later on, and then you're going to be able to join us in the studio live. The reason for the new format is so that it will be more accessible to worldwide audiences, and perhaps you don't have the time to meet us exactly at these times, 8 to 5 and 5:05 Pacific time. You'd be able to watch these calls on demand and be able to discover them easier. As a reminder, if you wanted to download the presentation, if you want to look at previous calls, they are available to the Champion Program members, and you would be able to join our Champions Program by going to ak.ms/m365champions. Alrighty, so for Mondays at Microsoft, if you're not already aware, Mondays at Microsoft is a show with Caruana and Heather, two very prominent members in our Microsoft community. And they have a call called Mondays at Microsoft every other Monday at the Microsoft community LinkedIn. And that call is basically a fireside chat where they basically talk about all the product announcements, upcoming event, aggregate basically the biggest topic all across Microsoft. If you wanted to check out their show notes as well as previous or upcoming episodes, you can check out their calls at ak.ms/Mondays at Microsoft. So we also have new MGCI community calls, also in this new format, in the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel, as well as the Microsoft Tech community. So reason similarly is so that more and more people can find out what the Microsoft Global Community Initiative is. And essentially it's about if you're a person that wants to get more involved in your local community, if you wanted to learn about how to hold an event, hold a user group, basically aggregate, scheduling events small or large in size, and then basically get to communicate with like-minded folks just as yourselves in these events. We also have plenty of training sessions as well, and these are led by Heather Cook as well as Jagadish, who supports the calls, and they're lots of fun. So if you wanted to join MGCI, feel free to visit ak.ms/MGCI, and then you can also subscribe to the community learning channel so you could see those either live or on demand. Alrighty, so for adoption.microsoft.com update highlights, typically our colleague Jessie Hwang does these, but she is out of office this week, so I'll be doing them on her behalf. Hopefully I serve you justice, Jessie. All right, so for update highlights, we have the addition of a Microsoft Ignite highlight on the Microsoft 365 Copilot page. And then we also have a release of Get Started with Copilot in PowerPoint, Word, Teams guides in the Copilot Success Kit. Wanted to also just highlight the updates to the Microsoft 365 Copilot for small medium business page. There's also similarly, we have a Copilot Success Kit for small and medium businesses, similar to the Copilot Success Kit for enterprise as well. Moving on, we have the addition of the new chat and channels experience link on the classic and new Teams page. I'm actually trying to get the product manager to come on for a probably a beginning like quarter of next year to talk about that new chat and channels experience and perhaps give a demo as well. So stay tuned for that. Coming up next, we have the addition of a customer adoption page on the agents in SharePoint page. We also talk about a little bit about agents later on, but we will have other content coming out from our team about agents in SharePoint. So stay tuned for that when we have our upcoming calendar year. And of course, you can read or subscribe to that release notes for more updates on adoption.microsoft.com. All right, so Ignite 2024 recap. So if you didn't already know, Microsoft Ignite was last week, November 18 to 22nd, 2024, last week basically. And it's our annual event that spotlights the updates and creation that enables customers, partners, developers, and more to unleash the full potential of Microsoft technology and change. But essentially, it's our flagship event that has all our leaders such as Satya and Jeff and Rajesh coming on stage and talking about all the different releases all across Microsoft. This year, as per previous years, I believe it was a sold out in-person event. More than 14,000 attendees was in Chicago, but including the online portion as well, we had over 200,000 total registered participants. There was over 800 sessions, demos, expert-led labs from Microsoft as well as partners as well. I do highly encourage you to visit ignite.microsoft.com because there are on-demand sessions that are made free available to you as long as you can register. And you can also catch up on all the different product announcements via the Ignite Book of News. Alrighty, so first thing is agents. There is so much on agents, especially in Satya's keynote, that I thought is really, really relevant for champions for this call. So Satya talks about agents like thinking about your teammates, for example. Like you would think of one person, perhaps that's your teammate, that is really good at knowing perhaps different HR policies. So that person would be the pro-2 to ask, hey, how long is paternity leave or maternity leave? Or, what are the different types of insurance plans are available? So someone like that would be considered the agent on self-service. So it'd be called the self-service agent. And this is using the Microsoft 365 Copilot business chat tool that answers for common workplace policy related questions and takes key actions on, key HR and IT related tasks. For example, if you wanted to ask it to basically, initiate a form on, time out of office or whatnot, you can also use that self-service agent to do so. But first, the facilitator agent is basically someone that you add to a Teams meeting, for example, and they would keep the meeting focused. So if you gave it an agenda, then they would hopefully make that meeting move on time, making sure you hit the key points that you wanted to discuss, as well as taking notes, follow up, and action items. So again, just that person that would be a really great moderator or note taker for your meeting, you could add that facilitator agent to that Teams meeting. Project manager agent. This one's really cool because I don't know that many people that are really good at Planner, but those that are really good at Planner are super good at it. And in Planner, you would be able to do that, add that project manager agent that would automate the key steps in a project manager workflow, create a new plan from scratch, task assignment if they needed to create some sort of content or materials, and they would be able to do so. But having that project manager agent in Planner has been super helpful. I've been actually using it myself in my plans as well. Alrighty, so if we go on to the second. So if we go on to the second side on agents, we can also see content. So you can deploy specific SharePoint agents to either specific folder, specific topic, specific file. Somebody else.
It looks like we're having a few issues with Tiffany's feed, but hello everybody. My name is Josh Leporati. I'm going to jump in real quick and talk about the agent section that Tiffany was on. And if I'll have an intro in a moment, but just want to thank you all for being here tonight, or this morning, or wherever you may be. It's evening for me. But on this Ignite recap, so as Tiffany was saying, talking about more about agents, the SharePoint agents, right, is your ability to go and add those and ground them specifically to the content that you want it to be governed over. So think about an example here of you've got a specific SharePoint site with documents that are relevant for a disaster response. And inside of that SharePoint library, you can make an agent that can reason over just that information. And so it can be named and categorized as such. So now we can have agents deployed that can reason over specific criteria that you give it access to. This has been one of the biggest features being asked for around Copilot and custom agents, where you can go and really dive deep into having specific AI aware conversations around that critical material. Really great things that you can see out of that coming into play with agents, and something I would highly advise checking out. Lots of exciting stuff that you're going to see coming out of that, and coming even out of our group as we look to reimagine some of our app templates using these SharePoint agents that has it in the background. Now, the next part here is talking more about the Copilot actions and analytics. So the one of the biggest things here is the ability to go and reason over both the spoken words that happen and chat messages that come into play. Now, with these actions, they're in private preview now, but you can go and start to have these task oriented and kind of fill in the blank oriented um, simple next flow type actions come and take action for you. So let's say that, every day you want to get a summary from the past day's events. Maybe, hey, I need to know everywhere I was mentioned that maybe I didn't take action in, and bring that back to me. Then it can go and deliver that to you on a scheduled basis. So right, every morning I can come into work and say, hey, here are the things that I wanted Copilot to bring to my attention, and I can go and have that action complete on whatever routine that I need it to complete on. Pretty cool things to be able to go and leverage for that. Next is Copilot file summaries. So this is being able to give you kind of just a quick summary, both in group chats or in one-on-one messages, where you can get reason and get content specific awareness over what is in a file without you having to open it. So write that Copilot summary that you can quickly get when you're inside of documents, but getting that without having to jump into it as well. These will be in preview in early 2025. It'll work both from mobile and desktop clients and Teams. And thank you. Yeah, that's a great video playing, just showing you the example of how you can quickly summarize over the document that's been embedded in there. Now, Copilot control system, and Tiffany, this is where I was going to jump in anyway. So happy to jump in and share a few more updates around both Copilot specific things at Ignite, and a few things after this one that'll span into some other areas. But you can think about the Copilot control system as your avenue from an IT perspective to help you adopt and deploy these Copilot agents and just Copilot all up. There's a number of things that are included with this. One of the bigger things is around data protection, the inclusion of SharePoint Advanced Management in that. So as you need to go and put controls around what's being shared or addressed oversharing, that'll be included with built-in content governance reports and controls. Look for that early 2025. And then you've also got some integrations into the Microsoft 365 admin centers. So that'll give you the ability to give personalized insights around Copilot usage to help improve the tenant management, the ability to help answer admin questions that are out there for the admin center. That feature set is in private preview now, and it'll be generally available coming in early 2025. And then also included with this is more around the Viva Insights and the ability for measuring and reporting Copilot usage and the Copilot analytics. It's part of the new Copilot analytics, but it gives you deep dives into, hey, what groups are using Copilot? How is it being leveraged in my environment? And where else can I go and either find areas of improvement for it, or find great places that are already leveraging it, and I want to share that out. I know one of the big things for our community here and the champion community is building out our champions and building out these programs. So hopefully, some of those insights can help in building those programs. Now, in some prior calls, we had the Microsoft Places team come on and give an overview of this, and I know that there's been a lot of questions in this community about more updates from Places. Well, at Ignite, there was some good information released about that. Know that Microsoft Places is now generally available. There is some Copilot integration that's been added into it as well. But if you haven't heard of Microsoft Places, right, it's that way to go and help find locations where you can sit and work in an organization in your environment. See your colleagues who maybe are working in the office today or working remote. You can get a great breakdown of that. And then also, right, finding those places, analyzing your spaces, and managing bookings through Copilot. It's a great thing that I know I get to leverage every so often when I am at a Microsoft office with my colleagues, being able to see when those folks are in office. I'm usually 100% remote, so they'll always see me as noted as remote, but I'm sure they get super excited when they see me in the office and would give them reason enough to pop in and fight traffic just to see me. Probably not, but it's a feature and it's a possibility out there. But Microsoft Places helps to bring in that integration in line with your productivity tools to see where folks are working and where you can connect with them at. Now, something we shared too was around the Microsoft Resiliency Initiative. We'll paste a link in the community or in the tech community on this page for where you can find out more information about this. But the Microsoft Resiliency Initiative has features like quick machine recovery and solutions to help recover from unexpected outages or disruptions that could be as a result from Windows updates or other files that get corrupted or messed up on devices. Again, a quick way to initiate a recovery from that. This is coming to Windows Insider program in early 2025. And thank you so much, Aaron, for popping that AKA on the screen. So aka.ms/Windows Resiliency Initiative. And you can find out more about that. One of the things that I was super excited to see, and even a bit of a surprise on some of it for us, is Windows 365 Link. So if you think about the ability to have a low-cost device that can be desk side and connect to your cloud PC infrastructure, bringing in some local secure features and AI features, this is that device, right? So pretty small footprint. It's meant to help also offload some of the video processing and other components maybe that you would need for Teams video calls or other areas directly onto the device so you can still leverage the cloud PC location or cloud PC infrastructure and then have that small footprint device wherever you need to have devices at. Again, it's meant to be a low cost device connected to your cloud powered infrastructure and using Windows 365 in the cloud to facilitate those experiences. So this device will be available starting in April of next year. And you can see the price there, 350. But again, meant to be a low profile device and easily managed device. So a lot of cool things out of that device that's coming. All right, next, these next two will be around some Azure information or Azure updates. Azure AI Foundry. So this is a unified platform that's designed to help streamline the development and customization of your AI applications. So this integrates across a variety of different Azure AI services and tools, and it provides you with a comprehensive environment to go and build and deploy these solutions into your organization. So it also includes software development kits. It facilitates a lot of the integration with some of the more familiar development environments like GitHub or Visual Studios, and is meant to be that organizational landing page for you to go and develop, customize, and manage the deployment out for your org. Now, similar or in the same line, you've also got the Azure AI Agent Service. This is also allowing inside of Azure AI Foundry for developers to go and create and deploy AI agents that can go and automate some of your business processes, simple to complex processes out there. This enables you to integrate from models either from Microsoft, OpenAI, or partners like Meta and Cohere. The agents also can leverage knowledge from lots of different sources, including Bing, SharePoint, Fabric, Azure AI Search, Azure Blob is out there as well, and other data repositories that maybe you want to point it to. So again, both with Azure AI Foundry and Azure AI Agent Services, a lot of this is meant to help you connect your organization's development practices in AI into a managed location in Azure, right? It gives you a single kind of pane for that to go and do. Now, with that, those are kind of some of the top, I mean, not nearly all of the announcements from Ignite, but some of our top ones. Earlier, Tiffany shared about the book of news and where the main landing on Tech Community is for all the news. There's so much out there, so much great information that landed for that. Hopefully, this was helpful to give you a broad sense of information of some of the top announcements. But at the end of Ignite, we also did announce Ignite for 2025. So you can look for the next Ignite coming the week of November 17th in San Francisco, California, here in the United States. It'll be both local to that location as well as online, just like this year. You can go and sign up to be notified for more event details and when registration opens at ignite.microsoft.com. And then you've got the Ignite Book of News, and you can just hit ignite.microsoft.com to find all of this information plus more of what we kind of covered and talked about. Now, I know that it was scrolling a second ago, but we do want to give you time in case anybody does want to jump in, ask anything live on air. Normally, I would have been in the background looking at Tech Community for any questions. I'm going to swap to that now and see if anybody had any questions that were posted out there, and we'll answer those if I see any. So give me 1 second. All right, doesn't look like we have any questions on Tech Community, Tiffany, but I know we've got the link up. So if anyone out there does want to join Tiffany and I live to ask anything on air or just have a conversation, tell us about some adoption stuff that you're going through, would love to have you. Tiffany, anything you want to add while we wait?
Yeah, while we're waiting, I know that there were some couple good questions from our AM call earlier today. There were some questions on Microsoft Places, and one of them was on just basically like how they can acquire places as well as like licensing and pricing. So the way to acquire places is by well, you can look up places online as well, but it's included as part of your Teams Premium license. And if you don't have Teams Premium yet, you can also have a 1 week free trial to try out both Teams Premium as well as places.
Awesome. And I will say while we wait, just to the community out there, and hey, Ben, I see that you pasted about agents. Yeah, agents are great. Already having a play with things. Very cool. Awesome to hear. Thanks, Ben. We did go through an update. So anybody that's watching us on the tech community, thank you for being out there. You may notice, hopefully, you notice a change from the prior months into this month's event being run on tech community. We had a bit of a update for the underlying platform, so may look a bit more modern. Hopefully, it looks a bit more modern. You'll see some more abilities for posting comments in line and threaded, and seeing this video live feed on there. So yeah, thank you for being out on Tech Community today too.
Thanks, Josh. Actually, I had a question. I think it was one of our previous community calls on the Microsoft Tech Community update. Folks are saying that they were basically getting emails whenever other people respond to them on Tech Community in the comment section. Is there a way that they could disable that or like a preference?
There absolutely is. So when you're in the tech community, you'll notice that you have your profile image in the top right. If you hit your profile image and go down to my settings, there is a preferences and a follow and notifications options that will let you both change the way that you see comments, and then the follow and notifications, you can turn on and off email notifications or the frequency of that delivery. So yeah, you would just want to go to your profile, my settings, and follows and notifications, and you can turn those on and off or change them to daily digest and so forth.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, good to know for our subscribers, and also for those folks that were asking, like, how do I turn off all these email notifications? I think, especially when they participate, like in an AMA, when there's tons of comments or engagement, then um, people will need to go in and turn off their notifications for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Great. Do we have any questions for specifically this call?
We do not.
Okay.
Nope, we're no questions posted.
Great. So questions from earlier is how they can get a copy of the presentation and also receive our newsletters. So you would be able to do so if you join our program at ak.ms/become a champion. So that you would basically visit this link, fill out the little form, and subscribe to our emails as well as our notifications, and you'd be able to get that exclusive join link where we have our champions resources link, and you can visit our I think past 5 years of champions calls are on there, as well as previous decks. So that's how you would be able to do so. Cool. All righty. Well, Josh, do you have any questions that you remember that were good from this morning? I'm trying to recall. I don't.
Now the places was a good one.
Mhm.
There were some different licensing questions. Tiffany and I aren't the licensing side of this, but most places you can go land on the product overview pages to get any licensing information. Um, but most of the features we talked about had either a Teams premium requirement or a Copilot general requirement out of those. But I can't think of any other specific ones. I gave the plug for the tech community and just thanking everybody for participating out there, like the other call. So just appreciate that again.
Cool. So, Josh, do you have a favorite feature or product from Ignite this year so far?
Honestly, it's the new announcement of the Microsoft 365 Link device. Not that I need a different device, but the ability for
Mm.
me to now, of course, I'm mobile, or say, of course, I'm a good bit mobile and jump around locations. But some of the locations I jump around have dedicated stations too. And if I didn't have to use my Surface device at all of them, I would enjoy carrying around a small Link device and being able to use an easier setup and my cloud PC off of that. So I'm excited to give that one a try.
Awesome. I like the price point. I think it's 365 or something. But yeah, I think it's lower cost to entry, and I like that the Link device, you don't need an admin, or so it says, but it says that it'll be as easy to add, the Link device, like, your phone or tablet, and within Intune, that doesn't need to be like an admin, basically like the longer process for like an actual PC device. So I think it's just much easier
Okay.
all around. Awesome. Well, I think if we don't have any more questions, we can try to wrap and bring up the rest of our slides for today. All right. Okay. So upcoming community events. So today we have our call, but tomorrow, November 27th to 28th, we have our collab days, Hungary and Budapest. December 2nd to 5th, we have the European SharePoint conference in Stockholm, Sweden. That one is actually already going to be next week, and tons of our Microsoft leaders going to be there, such as Adam Harmith, Caruana, Heather. They're all going to be in Stockholm, Sweden. So if you are fans, or you're just interested on what the latest announcements are going to be there, feel free to check out that conference. And you can also find the link to this conference later on at communitydays.org. So December 6th to 7th, we also have Microsoft 365 Saturday in Bangalore in India, as well as January 17th, we have our Microsoft 365 Community Days in Phoenix, Arizona. So Arizona is definitely a great place to be, especially in our winter months if you're located in the U.S. And that one's actually held by some really great community organizers such as Hal and Sharon, as well as Caruana herself, who's partially located in Phoenix, is going to be there at this community day. So if you wanted to see what other Microsoft events are, or submit your own event that maybe perhaps others aren't, totally aware of yet, you can submit that at communitydays.org. Alrighty, so coming up next, we have our upcoming events. Upcoming calls. So again, we have open discussion, but feel free to join us later on in the Microsoft Tech community if you have questions later on, if you watch this on demand. But what's next is there is no call in December. So if you celebrate the holidays during this time period, then hopefully you have a good rest of your holiday season. But for the upcoming quarter, I'm getting the chat and channels call up team from Teams to come on, and as well as we have gonna kind of have the designer team come on as well. So that's TBD. I'm trying to work out months with them, but that's a preview of what may be coming up next in our January, February months.
And Tiffany, while we're on the what's next, we do have a guest that joined us in.
Cool, awesome.
Just dropped.
You scared him away. Okay, no worries. So if you wanted to join us live, we have a live link. But this is for joining the studio live and give us a question, suggestion, feedback. Could be negative as well. We're totally all ears to any feedback that you would have to give or question. But if you want to share your feedback later on with us, we have our official link here at ak.ms/Microsoft 365 Champion Call Feedback. We can also join us at the Driving Adoption community at ak.ms/Driving Adoption. And then if you wanted to invite your colleagues to become a champion, you could also join us at ak.ms/M365 Champions. Alrighty, so this wraps up our PM call today. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Josh, for coming on and taking over for me. I really, really appreciate it. With that, I'm going to bid you adieu, and we will see you champions in the rest of the next year in 2025. Have a great rest of your holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for being here.